Hello, I am back in Switzerland again and I have a question for you. Who is the most famous Swiss person of all time? He has been living in this village. Please keep watching. More than 700 years ago, already in the year 1307, by that time most of Switzerland was still controlled by the Habsburg Empire from Austria. At that time, in the little village of Altdorf was a person living who nowadays we would call him like a far-right extremist, a radical, a racist or a fascist, but at that time we still called him a freedom fighter. So now I am in front of the statue in Altdorf of this very famous person. His name is Wilhelm Tell. You may know the story about him, which was written by the famous German author Schiller. And later there was also a fantastic opera made, especially the Ouverture of Wilhelm Tell, composed by Rossini, the Italian composer. So the legend is that Wilhelm Tell, he was an excellent marksman with bow and arrow, and one day in 1307 he showed passive resistance to the regime of the Habsburg Empire. The governor had put a hat on a pole, and the idea was that every day everyone had to pay respect and bow to that hat. Wilhelm Tell on one day decided not to bow, and then he was prosecuted for that. And as a punishment, because he was an excellent marksman, an apple was put on the head of his son, and he had to shoot an arrow through the apple, and thereby risking both the life of himself and of his son. Luckily, William was successful in shooting the arrow straight through the apple on top of the head of his son, thereby saving the life of his son and of himself, and he was released. Unfortunately, after that, the governor asked, "Why did you bring two arrows instead of just one?" And the answer of William was that if I would have failed with my first arrow, then I would have used the second arrow to kill you, the governor. And that was enough for the governor to again charge him and try to lock him up in a serious prison for the rest of his life. Story short, Wilhelm was taken to prison, but before he even got there, he managed to escape, and later, as an act of revenge, he killed the governor with his bow and arrow, and that was in 1307, the starting point of resistance and independence of the federal states of Switzerland. It all started here in the canton, the region, the state of Uri in Altdorf in Switzerland. Thank you for watching.